Hello guys and welcome to Front Row Racing. I'm Front Row Racing coming to get you 85, and this evening we will be having a test session around Silverstone. We've got some rules in place, some settings changed, and we're going to see how we do this evening to possibly go live next week. But that is a long shot. Joining me this evening in the comms box is Lord JB. How are we doing today, my good man?
I'm alright, how are you?
Getting old, getting stressed, and the usuals, I guess, you know. So, shall we send these gentlemen over to the track and see how we do this evening?
Well, they're not here to do anything else.
I like the thinking. Let's send them over and see what's a crack-a-lacking with the settings we've done today. I just need to make sure we skip the intro because of copyrights, and we'll see what's what, but we'll explain a little bit more as we go, guys, with settings and changes to see if we can sort out the bugs, glitches, everything else that Codemasters likes to deliver with a new game. So, Lord JB, thoughts on the race this evening?
I think it'd be entertaining if we go classic Britain and have what we had today, which was a lot of rain.
Yeah, you and your rain. Rain. Have you done your rain dance today?
I was doing it earlier and I was in shorts.
I like it. So, as we head over to the track, today's settings that we've changed, guys, are nice and simple. In this session, we've taken the formation off, which is causing a few sync problems with the drivers on grid. So there will be no formation lap. I hope the guys remember that they will be going from qualifying to the race straight away. No safety car also. And on top of that, the guys have been informed that in this event they are not to rejoin the session if they are disconnected or to leave, as we've noticed a few bugs and glitches with delta times missing, setups changing, etc. Thanks to Codemasters. So hopefully, all going well, we may get some good results from this evening, and Front Row Racing's admin can look into our options going forward. So, what's your thoughts on that, JB, with the settings and that we've had to change for this event?
I think it's rubbish. We need to have stable settings to go racing, and right now with I think every event we've done that's been live has been a settings change each time, and it's just a pain.
Just a little bit. I don't know, Lord JB, do you want to take us through a few of the problems we have in qualifying? Because today, like always, is a special guessing game.
Well, for us, we don't know what the weather's going to be.
Blue sky.
Well, yeah. Well, right now it is. I think we've had major issues with syncing. Curdy Worley expressed it at the last event he was in. He came up to Drew when Drew was on the other side of the track, and he was in art when we were watching him, wasn't he? So
that's
struggling with
true.
driver syncing.
No, that's very true there. We've got cars hitting the track though. Hopefully we will not see these problems this evening, but that's fingers crossed, all going well. So let's see how we get on. But a few cars hitting the track. We've got Mr. Hamilton in his beautiful McLaren there, with a similar helmet design to last season there, Lord JB, as you brought up the helmets last race.
I love helmets. I just love the visual look at the helmets. I like the idea of being able to pick your own helmet. I was annoyed about that in 2015 when you lost that ability.
Yeah, a bit of a pain, but yeah, good old Codemasters, they like to do what they want to do. I mean, we've said it before, they do good games and bits and bobs, but I'm getting rather annoyed with the bugs, and I'm going to hold my tongue before I say something the owner might tell me off for later. So yeah, who have we got on track? I believe we've actually got one of the pairings here this evening. I'm definitely keeping an eye on these two, because Mr. Hamilton and Bleeding Sunrise teamed up in the McLaren this year. They've actually taken the car, and it'll be interesting to see what they got here this evening, should I say. Soft tyres for Mr. Hamilton, maybe just feeling his way around the track. Would you like to take us around a lap with Mr. Hamilton, JB, around Silverstone in these beautiful 2017 cars?
Well, you picked the fastest car at Silverstone Q1, if you remember. Coming down towards the last chicane, Oh, I love this track, don't you? Don't you, Dave?
Beautiful, lovely flowing. It's one of the best tracks on the calendar. If it ever left, I'd probably walk away from Formula 1 myself.
Well, you said that now. It's coming down. You should not brake for this first corner. You might lift off coming off the grid, but you should not brake hard. This is the first real braking zone here, coming through Village. It's a nice lock up there on the outside right. Coming round towards the first DRS straight. This is round there is a real overtaking opportunity if you get it right. If someone messes up, you can just slip down the inside. All right, I'll have this place. Coming down towards Brooklands and Luffield, nice section if you get it right. Just don't want to go too wide here. A bit like Mr. Hamilton has done. You managed to crawl it back to the apex just in time. Down to the old turn 1, this old pit straight, nice and fast. You can lift off here, but it's best to keep it planted, as Mr. Hamilton does. Maggots Beckett's here. Or Maggots and Beckett's is always going to be fun. With the new cars, you can just slide straight through them. Shouldn't really have to brake until here. Down onto the hangar straight, another overtaking opportunity. You saw Max Verstappen make a move there on Rosberg last year in actual Formula 1. I wasn't aware of front row racing during that time, actually. Yeah, I wasn't. I only came in at Hungary.
Where have you been?
Coming around into the final chicane. Quick lap, very quick, but won't be the fastest we'll see today, as he is off on those soft tyres.
Whoa, 1 minute 27 seconds, .7. You said that won't be the fastest. I think it's gonna be one of them. Wow. That was something special. I don't know about you, but that lap absolutely looked hooked up, and there were some key points there which you very wisely brought up for driver information and people viewing. There are a lot of key points on this track now where there is no lifting and it's pretty much flat out. It's about 80% now flat out. It is 78% in it.
One of those, but you've got to get it right, because if you don't lift off at a point when you should, you're going into the wall or you're going off track. If you do lift off, sometimes you use too much time. You've got to be really in tune with the car.
Excuse me while I cough. No, you're absolutely right there. This is one track where, I don't know, it's super quick now. These cars absolutely superb. Stick to the floor like a train on track nowadays, unless you've got a peculiar setup. But it's a beautiful track to drive now. Thinking about it, Lord JB, overtakes around this track, wow, it's going to be pretty hard. I remember it being pretty difficult in 2016, let alone 2017.
I think you've got to know where you're strong, and coming down the hangar straight, if you can get Maggots and Beckett's right, and carrying that speed down the hangar straight with DRS, you're going to get past that guy, no questions asked. But you've got to make sure that you're not just going to barrel straight into them either at turn 1 or at Village, which would be turn 2.
That's very true there. Is it turn 2 or turn 3?
Well, I call it turn 2 because I don't really cast the official turn 2 as a term, because all you're doing now is just kicking your wheel.
Very true there. It's a bit like Austria, where they've established what used to be turn 2. Whoa, sorry there. I'm on board with Curly Whirly, and he's had a massive moment coming out of the old last corner, and the Red Bull was in front of him and well avoided there. So yeah, moving on from Curly Whirly, that was an interesting moment. Excuse me, you have to excuse the coughing tonight, guys. I've got a bit of a sore throat-ish. So yeah, Lord JB may be doing a bit of talking while I cough my guts up this evening, but let's have a flick through, see if we can find one of our reserve drivers. Here we go. Nope. Have we got a reserve driver that's on a hot lap? Let's do a comparison. I mean, we saw Mr. Hamilton do a flyer, one of our World Championship drivers. Have we got a reserve driver lining up a lap at all, Lord JB?
I don't think so. We've got RDB coming through Maggots and Beckett's. He's just touched the grass coming down to the hangar straight, but nothing sterling right now. I think most of the guys will be in the pits now, trying to get those new tyres on, trying to drain their cars for the fuel before they can get round and do that final lap on this ridiculous 12-minute qualifying session. Yeah,
I'd have to agree with that, and we've had, as I just follow along with RDB, sat in second at the moment. We don't know if that's official, but coming up to the line, and he's gone 9th. We don't know if that's where he will be at the end of the session, but solid performance. The gentleman here normally uses assists. We'll follow his lap off board and see how he does in comparison. A nice little lock up there. But yeah, you brought up the 12 minutes there, Lord JB. I would just like to elaborate on that. It's rumour, and rumour has it Codemasters will not be changing that function. How true it is, we're unsure. We'll have to see what comes out in the next patch, but they're under the impression that they like the intensity, the drama, and everything else that goes with it, which is great if you're in Q1 with 20 cars on track. However, when you're in a short qualifying with 19 drivers around the track, as we would do with our structure, it's not pretty. It's going to be dramatic. There's going to be drama, and it's not going to be the drama Codemasters are looking for. And we're the guys that have got
collisions.
Exactly, and we've got to deal with the complaints. But I'll tell you what.
Bleeding Sunrise has had a spin. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Nope.
A spin down the hangar straight, and he's ruined his front wing. I don't know what he's doing. He's stuck in 7th gear. What is he doing?
Well, we are with him now, just to have a quick nose, as cars are obviously seeing there's yellow flags there, I presume, and ooh, this is something I did want to touch upon. You saw Bleeding Sunrise there, losing the car, dirt on the tyres, and you don't want to be putting that throttle down too quickly with dirt on the tyres on this game, as it can cause you havoc. Who was that, sorry?
I like him out.
A Lycamau. Let's have a jump on board with a Lycamau as he comes, what's this, through village? Out of village. Down the first DRS straight, we're on board with him. He's on the soft compound tyres. Looking good so far. A Lycamau. Coming down. Oh, what's that? 40 metres. Very, very late. Good man. That's what you like to see. Just misses the apex there. Brave, dangerous.
But at the same time, is it stupid?
Let's call that a centre moment. Right on the edge. That's what I like to see. As we come down the old pit straight here, this corner, flat out, don't lift, make it stick, nicely done. Maybe a slight lift there from himself, but Lycamau fully committed. As we come into Maggots and Beckett's, what's he gonna do as we fly in? No lift, good to see. Down 2 gears. Ooh. Big moment there. This is one of the crucial things of the game. You come down 1 gear too many, and woof, that ass end will go on you big time. Excuse my language there, apologies. But as we come down, hangar straight into what I believe is Stowe, he's gone down to 5th, maybe a 6th gear corner there for future reference, but looking good, tidy, apart from the little moment in Maggots and Beckett's. Braking point, he's really pushing these braking zones, isn't he, Lord JB?
He is, but I don't think that much is going to help after that moment of Maggots and Beckett's.
No, but as he crosses the line now, he did a 1 minute 30.1, so I believe he will go on for another flying lap, but we will have a look around for someone else.
Says he's gone fastest and he's gone 8th. I don't know.
Got to love Codemasters for that.
Oh, you have. A little thing that I'm happy about, as you can probably tell with my love for the helmets in this game, the livery update. So the bigger numbers are coming in the next patch, which I'm happy about, and Dave here is very annoyed about.
No, I just had a cough then, and I did hear what you said, and yes, I'm going to have a quick moan and rant, guys, because this really frustrates me. I do not care about liveries or numbers or nose cones or helmets or wing mirrors. I want a game that works with no bugs or nothing else. The liveries and everything else can come later. So please, Codemasters, stop listening to these people that go on about liveries and numbers and all that tyre's not quite round. No, stick to with what you need to do. Get the basics right and come back to the liveries later and all the extra bonuses. So that's my rant over, Lord JB. Back over to you.
Just a thing I wanted to fire out quickly is how do you feel about Pierre Gasly?
Whoa, sorry. Mr. Hamilton's just put in a 126.8.
Well, as he did that, Curly Whirly's met a wall.
Ooh, did he really? Wow. Sorry to interrupt, but come on.
Yeah, he messed it up going through Maggots and Beckett's, and he just flew straight off.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's being nice. He's making sure there's no one on the track that he's gonna impede. But that was a hefty hit. Luckily, his front wing's still in some semblance of a piece, but he is not going to get a lap in. There's 2-1 qualifying over.
Oh yeah, qualifying over, just watching Smek come up to the line. He's currently gone 10th, so interesting to see how the grid forms at the end of the session. We jump back to being on board with braking plays as he's coming down hangar straight, DRS wide open. coming up to a top speed of 200 miles an hour before he slams on the brake, clicks down to 6th, drops to 5th. Nicely done, swinging around the apex and coming up to the last chicane, entering the last corner, following on from that. Nicely touching the apex, staying in 3rd, clicks up to 4th as he touches the apex. Rear end skipping away from him, but howls it nicely, comes across the line and goes 3rd. But again, we don't know where he is in the order. So, any more drivers on track for JB?
I think Curly's the last one. He's just putting into the pits right now.
Okay.
That's qualifying over there.
I believe you're right. So, interesting, 12 minutes, it goes very, very quickly. As a commentator, it helps us try and run through everything and rabble on as quick as we can, but as a driver, too much pressure in my view, too much pressure.
I think it's not the too much pressure. I think it's just the issue of there's too many drivers on the track at the same time, so you just can't get that time to warm up your tyres.
Very true. Traffic and yeah, all sorts, and I believe that's going to cause a lot of dramas, problems, etc. as we go on. But Codemasters, if you are listening, or if you would like me to forward this video onto you, please change the qualifying session back to the 18 minutes. It'll go a long way for any league. Lord JB, work with me, man.
You know, I do think we've hit a bit of a snag here. I do apologise. I think we've hit a snag where Curly has retired, but it is still saying that we've got to click down, so we have 1 minute and 10 seconds sat here just chatting.
Ah, oh, what a shame. Wow.
At least we got a nice thing to look at. We got the wing.
Well, yeah, the wing with a Silverstone with fans up there celebrating.
They're not fans. They're all of the rich people that overpay to go to these events.
Okay, very true, very true. Too much money, but hey, what can you say? If we had the money, we'd be there ourselves for the real thing.
I mean, I've been to 2 Grand Prix in my lifetime. I don't know if you've been to any, Dave. Have you?
Mhm.
Well, I've been to Silverstone both times. Once in 2014 and once in this year. 2014 was rather entertaining because we were sat on the pit straight, looking at the wing, and one bloke had a megaphone just yelling, "We're having more fun down here, and we paid less than you," to the celebrities and that on the wing.
Good shout. I'd do the same.
Michael Fassbender was up there as well.
Who?
Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
You know, like Magneto from the X-Men.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know the one. Yeah, I believe I watched that race. Would you like to run through the order today, or would you like me to, Lord JB?
Oh, can you? Because this is going to go quickly.
Not a problem. Right, in pole we have Mr. Hamilton with a cracking time of 1:26.8, and he's 1.2 ahead of Curly Whirly, who's in 2nd. Braking Clay's in 3rd. 4th is F1 Roadrunner. 5th, Serdek Galatepe. 6th is Kareem, Captain, that's the one. In 7th, Erna Urkum. In 8th, Lycamount. 9th, Bereavement. 10th, Schmidt. Followed up by RDB in 11th, Jarson in 12th, Bleeding Sunrise 13th, Emerald Auto 14th, and that is the grid for today's test session.
14 drivers and Silverstone, a lap that used to take 2 minutes.
Very true, but looking at Mr. Hamilton's pace there, wow. I mean, 1.2 seconds ahead. I did.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
But yeah. Guys, we will be going straight into the race, so Lord JB, do you want to do the honours this week as I done it last week and take us through the start of the race?
I'll take lights out this time. Let's hope that well, we don't have Kane Islander this time to do a jump start, do we?
No, that's very true. Yeah, that was an interesting one, so I don't know what happened with Kane, but yeah, hopefully these guys remember to hold the clutch and release when the lights go out, not before. But if you want a head start, feel free.
Yeah, I've had a fair few times when my fingers slipped off the clutch and I've been very annoyed about it. But never in front of a racing, actually.
Okay, Lord JB, over to you.
They're on board. Got Mr. Hamilton. 5 lights immediately. There's lights out and no one's moving, and now they're moving. I think Curly's got a better start. Yeah, no he hasn't. Mr. Hamilton is leading into turn 1. Curly Whirly, and oh, there's cars off everywhere. There's just a Mercedes disappearing off into the distance. First real braking zone here. Very careful, Mr. Hamilton. He's on pretty low fuel from what I can see. He's trying to go light by the looks of it. Curly getting left in the dust right now. Just look at the speed already. He's
Whoa,
building. He's
look
already
at the
getting a
cars in
bit
the
of a
background. Whoa, Mercedes sideways. Sorry to interrupt you there, but it's all kicking off. But all drivers seems to be making no contact. Back over to you, Lord JB.
coming down through Luffield. Curly getting very wide. He's going to come under pressure on that Renault behind him. Going round towards the old pit straight. Still following Mr. Hamilton. Oh, Curly has built that much of a gap. Maybe the Renault must have got it wrong as well. Who is that Renault?
That Renault would be breaking close.
Yeah, thank you. Stupid system.
No worries. Just going to jump in here, just flicking back through the order. All nicely seems spread out. We're currently on board with Bleeding Sunrise, who has Jarson behind for company. Bleeding Sunrise a bit out of shape coming through Maggots and Beckett's there. Jarson may get the run on him. Unsure as we come down Hanger Straight. No, he's dropped a bit far back, but having a look further back. Here's
sorry to
Farber and
interrupt you
Rebel.
there, Dave. We got a Lycomel, I think that is, who's having some issues. He got a Lycomel, came into contact with RDB. We got Farfra coming down the side. When did he join the race? Contact between RDB and Farfra.
That is not good news for the teammates, but yeah, what we're going to do right now, while those two have had a moment, very shame there, very shame, it's a shame there for those two. Let's jump back up board with Mr. Hammond, because he's just set the fastest lap, and I believe Curly Whirly is now being left for dust at the moment. Tyre combat, they're both on the same.
Curly's got a fair few card laps in between him.
Yeah, Mr. Hamilton's absolutely looking like a rocket, but just behind Curly Whirly is breaking clays in the Renault, doing a fantastic job, because we know what skills Curly Whirly's got. As a pad user, he's doing a nice little job there, Curly Whirly, but breaking clays on a wheel. This might be one of those tracks that suit the wheel at the moment, from what I'm seeing, because Curly Whirly, Lord, is no slouch on a pad.
Farfra has just left the session. I don't believe that will be down to damage there. No, it wasn't. So he's just left the session for no straight reasons.
Might have been sort of an angry, I've had enough, that was my teammate, I'm going to go have words with the boss now.
Isn't he the boss?
He is the boss. They're teammates for this season though, so it'd be interesting if he has a word with his wheel.
Who's the #1 driver?
I'll let you decide to take that out with those two. Just going to jump a bit
I think
further.
I'm going to be fired later.
Just jumping a little bit further back, we've got Sertec Galatepe, followed by Erna Urkham. I believe they're teammates. Oh no, Sertec going for a late move there, down into the final chicane. He did not pull it off. Okay, apologies there. Be interesting. These cars seem to be the ones squabbling. If you have a quick nose around the order, Lord JB, see if there's any battles kicking off while I keep an eye on these three, because it seems that these three, anything can happen at any moment.
Well, we've got nothing really down here. We've got Bleeding Sunrise getting a bit closer to Mercedes, but no, I think the Mercedes should just be faster than them on the straight.
Okay, well we've got nice one. We got Sertec Galatepe with the DRS open, not quite able to get in range of the Renault there, so may have to wait, hold off. Do we know the tyre selection for the this track, Lord JB? Because they all look like they're on super softs.
I believe they're super soft, soft, and mediums around this track. Yeah, they are super soft, soft, and medium. You might want to jump on board with Bleeding Sunrise. He's coming up to a Mercedes, and he's very close. Okay,
we're there now. I'm with it. I'll talk us through it. We've got Bleeding Sunrise in the McLaren on the soft compound. Who is that in the Mercedes? That is Bereavement on the super soft compound as they come through Maggots and Beckett's. Just about exit onto the hanger straight from Chapel. Looking good. He looks a bit out of shape, and Bleeding Sunrise definitely got the run on him. Which way is he going to go? Left or right? He's gone for the inside as they come down hanger straight. Looking good. Is he going to be able to hold it? Does he have the straight line speed? Both cars got DRS. Throws it at the inside. Fighting it round the outside is Bereavement. Nicely done. Still side by side. I've got a poor camera angle here as one of the nose guys. I do apologise. Oh, Bleeding Sunrise very late. Nicely done.
He's got him. He's got him down.
Beautifully done on the nose cam there, and Bleeding Sunrise cut across us, and there's a bit. Whoa, hello. But yeah, nicely done. And what's that? Bleeding Sunrise up into 9th. Next victim, Smet.
Luckily through there, I was on board with Bereavement, and I was on the nose cam as well, so I managed to switch back onto one board just quickly enough to see him get past.
Lovely. At the moment, I know there hasn't been a lot going on from what I can see, obviously doing the broadcasting this evening. Bleeding Sunrise looks to be the guy on the move at the moment, unless you can see something. I can, Lord.
About to have a hope.
Thank you very much. So, as we come to the end of Sector 1, start of Sector 2, Bleeding Sunrise showing the car. doesn't look quite stable at the rear. Either that or he's feeling brave. Bit of drifting going on. Using all of the track and
just
some.
gone for a spin.
Ooh, where was that?
Well, Mr. Hamilton's just lapped him. It was just after Max and Beckett. He must have got it wrong. Oh, he's in the wall again. Oh, he's overcooked. I think his tyres are too hot at the back.
Whoa! Oh my bleeding! Whoa! Wow, sorry, if you see that back on the broadcast, Lord, you would see bleeding sunrise. Excuse me.
What happened there? Describe it to me.
Wow. It come out of the old first turn, and a little bit too much curb, and the rear started snaking, and it got worse and worse. Went off track, come back on, and the Mercedes bereavement's now back in front because of that moment, and he nearly took bereavement with him. So great bit of driving by the pair of them there, bleeding to hold in the car, and bereavement for avoiding the incident.
Look, I like him now. I was just in 13.
Nice. So as we come across the start-finish straight, we're staying on board with bleeding for a minute unless Lord JB shouts at me, because these are the closest cars on track. I like amount has left the session, possible for reasons.
I think that's down the frustration. As he did heat up his rear tyres a lot, and just could not stay on the track.
Oh, that's a shame. One of those things that we touched upon when you were actually racing last week in Spa there, Lord, whereas once these tyres overheat, they are very, very difficult to bring back down to the right working range temperature. But one thing I was just noticing when we were on board with Bleeding Sunrise is the clouds are in the sky and they look like they may be getting darker. We might be in for a little bit of a treat of a bit of rain.
Well, Bleeding Sunrise, not Bleeding Sunrise, Mr. Hamilton 44 has just come through Maggotts and Beckett's, whereas Curly is just coming through Beckett's now. There's a strong gap. There's a 5.9 second gap, 6.7 sorry gap between the two of them, between the leader and the second place man.
Wow, if pre-season testing, if you're looking at a driver that's looking strong, that would be Mr. Hamilton in the World Championship. The guy looks like a rocket at the moment, but this is pre-season testing as we try to figure out what we can and can't do before we start to let these guys actually attack the tracks in the season ahead with no bugs and glitches. But yes, I'm still on board with Bleeding Sunrise, and his car looks like a snake. Rear downforce does not look to be there, and bereavement's holding him off in front. Lord JB, as I said, if you see something I don't, you scream at me and I'll jump there, but these two guys don't look like they're finished, and Bleeding Sunrise is the man on the move. Seems very, very quick at the moment, but he is on the soft compound tyre.
Yeah, I just think through Emerald Auto through Max and Beckett's just.
Whoa, Bleeding! He's gone again! He's gone again! Where's he gone?
Oh, I want to see him. Oh, that's
He's gone.
hefty. Where's that? Is that turn 3?
It was turn 1, come off turn 1, flick, woof, gone. Didn't make turn 2, I think he chose his own wide line, and this is one of the things I'm now on board with him for. He's gone off track, guys, bit of gravel, bit of dirt, and he's having to take so much time. Got to be steady on the brakes, steady on the throttle, until these tyres get up to a good working range again. I think old Bleeding Sunrise might be regretting his downforce setup, and those clouds are looking rather dark now. I reckon we're going to get some rain, Lord JB.
I think it'd be nice to see the crossover point here on Silverstone. Silverstone is a long track, not as long as Spa, but we could have rain in one part that we don't have rain in another.
That's very, very true. The weather system, it can be heavier at one point, thinking it's inters, and no real rain on the other point. That's good for dries. But I've just looked at Mr. Hamilton, our current leader in this pre-season test session, and from what I've seen from the last 4 corners, he looks stable.
He's flying, isn't he?
He looks so comfortable. Just have a quick nose at Curly Whirly. Not looking too bad. Oh, good old Farfber. Don't bring it up too much, remember. But yeah, Curly Whirly looking quite stable. I don't know if this is the difference between the pad and wheel kicking in. Unsure. We may have to ask for some thoughts when we invite him in for a quick little interview afterwards, Lord JB, to see their thoughts on how their cars were handling around this track. But again, we don't know what weather's coming our way. Is Mr. Hamilton gone all out, flat out dry setup, and Curly Whirly's playing a bit conservative and possibly holding out for some weather here?
It could be that, or it could be the simple fact that Curly's setup isn't enjoying the race, whereas he enjoyed qualifying a lot more.
That's very, very true. He has indeed. From what we could see of him driving around the track, he didn't look comfortable. It set up problems, who knows. maybe get some feedback from him later. But interestingly enough, we still got Breaking Clays holding on to the back-ish of Curly Wurly, doing a fantastic job. Know a little bit about him from last season. He's quite a handy driver. I remember Mexico last year, he had me under a bit of pressure, if you remember, Lord JB.
You know, I don't think I was watching that race.
Really? You don't remember me getting a puncher?
You know, I don't think I was. I don't think I do. I'm very sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't want anyone really to remember. So, moving on. Just jump back to
go looking now.
Yeah, I bet you would. Looking back at the gentleman in fourth place here is F1 Roadrunner, one of our current World Championship drivers in this pre-season test session. He's driving around in a Ferrari, doing a good job. Between Curly Wurly, Breaking Clays and F1 Roadrunner, this could turn out to be a lovely little battle as we progress through this test session race. Lord, I don't know about you, I could be wrong. I'm not really seeing any ghosted cars unless the guys are left and bits and bobs. I know it's early, but I think everything's looking quite good at the moment.
I think right now we haven't seen, apart from the breaking, leading sunrise and bereavement battle, we've not really seen much car-to-car action. So we can't really comment on that until we get a car close to another car. Yeah.
That's very true. Would you mind dropping Mr. Hamilton a message and saying, look, drop back a bit, then charge?
You know what? I just opened my phone to do that.
I like the thinking there. So, flicking through the order, who haven't we seen so far? What's going on at the back? Still got bereavement in 9th. Following
Emirate Auto's just been lapped by Curly Wurly.
Emirate Auto, wow, they're dropping like flies again. RDB's now left the session. I don't know if that's terminal damage, retirement, or what. Have any information?
RDB did have terminal damage before, and then he just stuck in for a couple of minutes before he decided to leave the race. Leave. He might have been talking to someone, then just wanted to chat about what everyone was doing before he left.
Okay, a little bit of an update for you. We've had a bit of feedback from Bleeding Sunrise himself. Just going to read the comment as we go. Crashed it, setup was truly undrivable. So yeah, maybe one of those things he needs to work on a bit of pre-season testing. But his teammate is Mr. Hamilton, who seems to be absolutely flying out in front. So maybe want to have a word with him. But the gentleman I'm just jumping on board with, Jackson, is in the Williams, sat in 10th, doing a nice little job. I don't remember much from him last season, but I didn't join the comms team till late. Jarson, I believe, is one of those drivers they call, is it Mr. Monaco, where the guy's superb around there, so it's nice to see him back on track. We'll stay on board with him a little bit, give him a bit of TV time. Nice little driver, good to see him back. He's a confirmed driver in our lineup for coming back and giving it a go. Be interesting to see how he does throughout his events this year. Closely following behind him though is Certec Calatepe, who I believe has just made a pit stop and gone on to the mediums. Would you be able to confirm that for me? Thank you very much, my good man. I believe the pit stops are actually all coming in now. Could be wrong, but I'll wait for your information on that. I'm just going to jump on board with Mr. Hamilton.
Certec, Kareem Capitan, and Schmidt have all made a pit stop. The big loser in those pit stops was Schmidt, who was ahead of the three drivers. He must have got caught up being in the Ferrari at the front of the pit lane.
Interesting. That's one thing I have noticed in this game. If you've got a car close behind you and you're a pit box up from them, for some reason you get jumped, you don't get released at the same time. But could be one of those things.
That's the big question. For you personally, do you use the pit assist where you just sit through the pit lane and they do it all for you, or have you used the manual pit exit?
Well, unfortunately, I participate in the World Championship, so just an update for you, Lord JB. Curly Wurly, I believe, has made a pit stop. If you can just check what tyres he's gone on to. But yeah, referring back to that point, in the World Championship, yes, there is a new feature where when we come into the pits, we have to do everything manually. We have to hit the pit limiter, slow our car down. When we pull into the box, obviously the AI take over for us. But when we want to be released, we must hold the clutch and release it once we're dropped off the jack and go when the light goes green. And if you have a slight delay in that, that can cost you crucial tenths, possibly seconds, if you just have it slips your mind. So be interesting how these drivers get on with that feature this year. Do you have any information on Curly Wurly?
Curly has gone into medium tyres as it would go from now. Could possibly one stop it if he's kind to them. or he could two-stop it if he wanted to go onto a fast tyre at the end.
Oh, that will be interesting. Just a little update for you. We just had, I believe, Breaking Clay's fly into the pit, so I've just jumped on board with Curly Whirly, who I believe was just in front of him. It'd be interesting to see if the overcut or undercut works, whichever way it goes, because Curly Whirly's just coming and finishing hanger straight. Now coming up to the final little section of the track, coming into the tight chicane.
This is interesting.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Breaking Clays has gone onto the soft tyres.
Ooh, is he leaving the pits yet? Because I have Curly Whirly coming around the final corner.
I think he's got him. I think Breaking Clays has just held him back. Just turned off the pit limiter now.
Here comes Curly Whirly. Going to be tight, interesting. Curly Whirly, oh, just gets him. Does it? Yeah, Breaking Clays, you can see there in the background. Now, that may have been a bad decision going onto the softs, but we will find out as this race progresses.
Just adding onto the pit conversation we were just having there. You don't actually have to hit the pit limiter if you go in below the speed limit, which hit.
I do, just for safety purposes. I tend
to make sure you don't get that drive through.
yeah, I tend to hit it about 10 meters before, then just slam the throttle on. But that's just me. We've got F1 Roadrunner currently in 5th place. Do we have a driver that hasn't stopped yet? Flicking through the order, we've got Erna Erkham in 2nd place in the Toro Rosso,
who has not stopped.
Doing a fantastic job there. So this will be, as Lord just said, he has not stopped yet. So this will be a good indicator as is he going to push and put on a set of super softs, but it give us a good idea of what Breaking Clays may be able to do on his softs go into the end of the race.
Drivers who haven't stopped, Erna Erkham, Jason, and Bleeding Sunrise. Farfborough says he's racing, but we know he isn't. Emma Ortal, he has stopped, but that's due to his spins and his front wing being absolutely knackered.
Oh yeah, bringing up Bleeding Sunrise there, I believe he has left the session, so he's not actually racing.
Oh, fair point. Also, you may want to jump on board with Jason, because that's Kareem Capitan right up his gearbox. That was a censorship moment from me there.
Ooh, we are there here now, and there's a Toro Rosso just up ahead. The Renault in the background looking quite feisty, but Jarlson looking good on the soft compounds. Nicely done, but as we come up into... Ooh, sneaky move. No, Jarlson holding his line. Well done. Looking good. No,
Jarlson's tyres will be wrecked. He hasn't stopped yet.
No, and the move's being done. Jarlson's just dropped back down to... Whoa, contact!
Oh, maybe
whoa.
not! What was that?
That was a touch rude / naughty. Guys, you must remember, make sure you've passed the car completely before you pull back onto the racing line.
I believe Mark Webber said it very well, referring to Sebastian Vettel. Your car does not end with the back of your head.
That is very, very true, and one feature, I don't know if you've noticed, but if the indicator arrows are on for these drivers, when they are red, you are not past the car fully, so kind of no excuse there, as Mr. Hamilton just sets the fastest lap of the race of a 1:30.1. The guy is flying, Lord JB, would you be able to have a look at his lap times in consistency to drivers around him and see what he's doing? Is it a massive margin, or...
Well, I'll have a look at Mr. Hamilton versus Curly Whirly, because not to be unfair to Erna Erkham, he's not really in this fight as he has not stopped yet. Curly Whirly's fastest lap has been was a 1:31.6. So that's Curly Whirly's fastest time, whereas he's a full second faster than him. He's a second and I think 4 tenths quicker than him. Mr. Hamilton's fastest being a 1:30.1.
Oh!
Mr. Hamilton's retired? What happened there?
I was actually on board with him and nothing happened.
Oh, has this been the first strike of an internet glitch?
Possibly, either that or Mr. Hamilton's got the live stream on and he's just realised what I've said, check his lap times. I was just looking for a comparison there, Mr. Hamilton. I wasn't actually sneaking up on you or whatnot, so... But there's another driver gone. So currently, believe it or not, we have Erna Erkham leading the race, who's still yet to stop, but in close company now.
Yeah, Curly is in that net first place, as he is 1.5 seconds behind on these fresher tyres.
That is correct.
an Urchin will have the freshest tyres on the grid. I think apart from Jason, who hasn't stopped either.
No, but it's fantastic job finding
Oh, Jason
yourself in
has
the lead.
stopped.
Oh, he has now. Okay, brilliant. But yeah, Curly Wurly, as Lord JB said, he is the net leader. Does not have to stop now. Can go all the way to the end. But Lord, breaking clays, making damn good use of those soft tyres. I believe he's starting to close up in Curly Wurly bit by bit.
I will. I will check in a moment. But Curly Wurly is going to have DRS on an Urchin. I think this should be a simple move, unless an Urchin's straight line speed is absolutely immense.
Take us through
Should be
it.
a simple move. Build it up over to Luffield or possibly into the old Turn 1 Cops. But an Urchin, oh, he's holding that line well, isn't he, Urchin?
I believe we're on lap 14. He's doing a fantastic job to still be holding this pace, and Curly Wurly running wide, using all of the track and some there, but keeping it well. Breaking Clays is looking to benefit from this. We could have cars really taking the limits of this track around Silverstone down through Cops, coming up to Maggots and Beckett's now. This could get interesting.
See how Urchin takes these on damaged tyres. Oh, not very well by the looks of it. Curly Wurly has caught up.
Yep, through Maggots there, he lost a bit, but look at Breaking Clays, look at Breaking Clays! Wow, here we go. Over to you, Lord, take us through it.
This is where it gets fun. Oh, you know what? I don't think there's going to be a pass yet, but I think it might just be into the last corner. If an Urchin doesn't pit, he's going to be definitely busy. Oh, he's off the track. I've got an awful camera angle.
Oh, late braking, so have I. I'm on the nose cam. We had Urchin there, brake very, very late into the last chicane. Curly Wurly's gone around the outside of him.
Oh, they've both got him.
Look at Breaking Clays.
Oh, we're going too wide through turn 1. Can they do it? Oh, they're doing it. Oh, I've got an awful camera. I can't see anything. Who's got it? I think Curly's still got it. Curly's still got. No, he hasn't. Breaking Clays has got it.
Still goes.
Urchin's coming back as well. Oh, that's contact.
You'd think this was the first race of the season.
Well, yeah. Curly's gonna have DRS though.
No, he hasn't.
Oh,
no, he
hasn't. Breaking Clays has got it. There's car number 64. Car number 64 versus car 56. I like saying that.
Breaking Clays all the way around the outside. Beautiful.
Oh, Luffield. That's a perfect place. If you can get around the outside there, around Luffield, you're done. Oh.
I'll tell you what, I think we just found our battle, because Curly Wurly will not let Breaking Clays go, because he will want to be putting one over him on this test session. But again, it's a test session as they come round up towards Maggots and Beckett's now. Curly Wurly's starting to slip back off Breaking Clays. Breaking Clays, I'll tell you what, Lord JB, I don't know about you, but respect to both drivers there. There was minor contact, but to go side by side for that long in these cars was absolutely superb.
I think to go side by side through turn 1 is the thing that shocked me. I had my arms around the back of my head. I was so surprised I didn't see it coming.
No, it's great stuff by both drivers there, and Urchin. No, fantastic job there, running wide, and all three, no contact, and the contact we did see was minor. But as both cars come up to the ghosted car of Red Bull of Farfa, who's no longer with us, Curly Wurly seems to be the man on the move. Lord JB, do you have any tyre knowledge? When will the mediums start overtaking the soft compound here?
I wouldn't know, because I didn't see what lap Curly pitted versus Dean Sunrise. Was it? Oh, that's a lockup. Was it one lap after he pitted?
Curly Wurly was one lap before, because I was on board with him when Breaking Clays was coming out.
Right, so it should be. It'll be difficult. I think Breaking Clays might just get it to the end, but I think he'll have to nurse his tyres. You can already see Curly is already catching up. Breaking Clays may have used most of the life in that side-by-side battle. But Curly's there. He's not letting go, is he?
No, you could be right there. And I'll tell you one thing I'm noticing: these two drivers out in front, they are World Championship drivers, guys. They drive with 0 assists. They have absolutely nothing, and this is great stuff. Obviously, Mr. Hamilton unfortunately left us for reasons unbeknown to us. Hopefully we'll find out a bit more for him, but he's one of those drivers who likes to keep himself to himself. But these two drivers are putting on a fantastic show. At some point we will have a nose through the rest of the order, if Lord JB at some point can have a quick nose to see anything's going on. But as we come down Hanger Straight, we've got Curly Wurly behind Breaking Clays, DRS starting to drop back. I think the tyres, maybe the next 2 to 4 laps could come over into the crossover point. But Urchin, is he still going, Lord JB?
I will have a look. I believe he's pitted. Yeah, he's pitted.
What tyres compound did he go on to?
Urchin has gone to the super softs.
Super softs.
Yeah, so he's gone from soft to super soft. he could be fast. He could be in contention for a third place, but he's got to navigate 1, 2, 3, 4 cars to get through, and then he's got to actually catch them if he wants to get into the actual race.
Ooh, that was interesting. Just on board with Breaking Clays, sorry, Curly Willy I'm on board with, but the battle with Breaking Clays, we just saw a Red Bull on the exit of turn 2, sideways off the grass. We don't know what type of incident they've had, but they were a lap car anyway, so they were out of the way, so these two could continue the battle. Drivers, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a test session, so you may see some ups and downs from the drivers. They're all still getting to grips with the game, and they're all starting to go wheel to wheel with each other. And from the test session last week, these guys are already starting to push each other this week from each division. I mean, as I said before, World Championship drivers we are viewing at the moment. Breaking Clays in the Renault, Curly Willy in the Haas, doing a fantastic job. 2 different tyre compounds coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. I'm impressed so far. Breaking Clays doing the best he can with the tyre compounds that he's on, which are the soft. Curly Willy now coming up, down hanger straight with DRS. Breaking Clays going very, very defensive there. Curly Willy on the medium tyres, so hopefully the crossover point will come into play shortly. Curly Willy not quite close enough. Oh, Breaking Clays taking a bit too much corner. Both drivers run wide. Which way's Curly Willy going to go? He's unsure. Eases off. He's fake. No. Breaking Clays holding the apex quite nicely there. Looking good. But this could be one hell of a battle as we see these last 8 laps plus the one they're on go. So it's all good. All fair in love and war, as they say. But guys, keep it clean. You are putting on one hell of a show at the moment. Lord JB, do we have anything else kicking off elsewhere?
That's very tight. And I forgot to look because I was mesmerised by that Haas.
No worries. Thank you very much. I'll stay on board with these guys. Scream at me if there's anything else going on. If not, come back and join me because this battle is beautiful. Drivers putting on a fantastic show. I've probably said that 3 times now, but it's beautiful to see. The one thing we've noticed so far with 2 drivers this close on track, the ghosting is not happening. It does not mean we will be going live, but it's a feature we wanted to look into with the settings we have turned off. So as we come down the old pit straight, Curly Willy's dropped back a little bit on his medium compound tyres coming up to the old turn 1. Breaking Clay still doing a fantastic job out in front. Is this what we could expect from Breaking Clays this season? He's looking good, he's looking handy in the Renault. Is there anything going on elsewhere, Lord JB?
Nothing out of consequence right now. But if we look at F1 Road...
Oh, Breaking Clays wide, Breaking Clays wide, sorry. Chapel, exited Chapel, he ran massively wide. Is this tyres now starting to scream at him, saying give up? Curly Willy's just gone sailing past, but Curly Willy was off track slightly as well. So maybe Breaking Clays may start regretting that decision on going onto the soft compound tyres. But again, this is only a test session.
Yeah, it is a test session. There's no points awarded for this. But you can still have some great battling, even if there's no points awarded to it.
Exactly that. I mean, we've got Breaking Clay swerving in the background. Let's have a quick jump back, see what's going on. Maybe just trying to get the dirt off his tyres. That's one feature I will keep bringing up, guys. When you go off track, it takes a good 3 to 4 corners to get the tyres back into their working range and clean them off. And Breaking Clays may have just got them back into that window now. No, a little bit sideways, so either that or his tyres are now starting to scream at him. I can't take this no more. And I think we may have just lost the battle that could have just kicked off, but we shall stay with Breaking Clays and see if he makes any progress. So after that,
one thing I just wanted to bring up. Do you think Unercher was pitted too late? Because he's not catching anyone from what I can see. He's not visually catching anyone. It was seeing as he's just gone majorly wide at turn 4. There are 3 numbers. He's not really catching anyone, and if anything, I feel like he's being caught by Schmidt, that Ferrari.
Oh well, we'll jump back and have a quick nose quickly. Yeah, do you know what? I'm on board with Schmidt, and he is in range. You can see him currently on the nose cam. We seem to be getting a lot of nose cams. Not really happy with this, but you've got to put up with what's to hand.
Unless you're on the Toro Rosso, because that nose is nice.
Oh yeah, of course. Toro Rosso, beautiful car. We all know that. But from Erna Erkham's point of view, coming through turn 1, just gone past the ghost of car, Paul Farfa. Ferrari in the background, yep, just exit turn 1, so might be well worth keeping an eye on that gap. But it'd be interesting, Lord, to see how Erna puts up with these super soft tyres with, what, 6 to go plus the one they're on, or sorry, 7 to go with the one they're on.
Yeah. You know, just referring back to the battle on the leaders, yep. I think Breaking Clays has done something magical because he's catching Curly at a rate of knots.
Well, while you've just said that, if you can keep an eye on that, I mean, scream at me, because I've just jumped on board with F1 Roadrunner, one of our World Championship drivers again. He currently has, behind him, Certec Kalatepe, another one of our World Championship drivers. We seem to have battles brewing up. We've got the two leaders, Curly Whirly and Breaking Clays, as Lord JB just informed us. Breaking Clays may be on the hunt again. We've got F1 Roadrunner and Certec Kalatepe looking good for the battle over third, the last podium place. And back there, who was in the Ferrari? Smet may make En-Roads into catching Unerurkum, depending on how those super softs hold up. So I will come back up to the front with you and join Curly Whirly and Breaking Clays.
Definitely, he's in DRS range now. He has done something magical. Has he just got out and put new rubber on? Has he done what they do with lorries, put an extra strip on?
I have no idea, but now I'm on a nose cam again of the Renault, and I'll tell you what, his car looks absolutely filthy. You can tell the man's been rallying today, but I don't know. Is this a sign to say the mediums are not a good tyre around Silverstone?
I think they are a good tyre if you're going for the long run, but you got to have the pace. I think Breaking Clays has that pace as well. I think he just has that overall top speed over Curly. Curly will probably kill me for saying that, but you know.
No, I don't think Curly Willy will kill you. Curly Willy's a nice guy. He's a good racer. Oh, I'm on board with Breaking Clays. Curly Willy's rear end skipping out on him then. One factor I would like to bring in, as we just see if there's going to be a late move. Doesn't look close enough.
No,
Breaking Clays.
Yeah, Breaking Clays is that stupid yet.
No, but one difference between the two drivers is Breaking Clays is on a wheel. Curly Willy's on a pad, as we know. I've probably expressed that twice this race. Maybe there's a difference. Maybe this is something we as admin didn't think there was much of a difference, but possibly track dependent. What's your thoughts, Lord?
I think those extra temps that wheel brings has clearly brought some help to it. Oh my God, they're close.
Talk us through it, mate.
I'm on the T-cam right now, and they were almost kissing each other.
We're there. Talk us through it. Here they go.
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure Breaking Clays has it yet. I think he's... Oh, is he going to under pressure him? Is he going to try and wait until the last corner to take him?
Oh, you know, you could be right, because when you think about it, is he going to go for a move now? No, not can I see. Camera angles on this game are a bit... you don't see enough.
Whoa, rear end there on Breaking Clays. Sorry, I'm on the T-cam, so I'm watching that. His rear end just stepped out as he hit the throttle. I'm really thinking that that Breaking Clays might be going, okay, let's see how fast you can go. I think he might be pulling a U there, Dave.
A pulling a U? A U? I don't pull things, I just get in my car and do my job.
There was a joke I could have made. Hey, rear end!
Yeah, I think
you saw that too, then?
Yeah, I'm back up board with you. I will jump back shortly to see how the battle's going on between the other drivers behind. But this looks like these guys, the move could happen at any time, it's imminent. But what I shall do now is I'll leave you with this battle, and I'm going to jump back to F1 Roadrunner. See how this gentleman's doing. Again, not getting the greatest of camera angles. Oh, we have! Certec Kalatepe has slowly caught him up a bit, but again, both cars on the medium compounds here. We've got Certec Kalatepe and the Toro Rosso, which is looking absolutely gorgeous, and F1 Roadrunner in the Ferrari ahead. I'll tell you what, these cars are looking very, very stable on these tyres, not as wobbly as the two guys in front. Do you think that could be to do with setup, aero?
I think it could be. I think these guys are, especially with Breaking Clays, he's gaining most of his time on Curly in Maggotts and Beckett's. I think, but at this point, I think Breaking Clays' tyres are gone with the sliding and with the fact that Curly's just pulled out a couple of more car lengths on him. In the DRS zone and the DRS, but Curly is locking up. Is not going to help him through that going through the third corner now. Still not close. There's a good 3 tenths between them. 2 tenths, 2.9. Could be if he can hold it on. It could be moving to turn 3.
Okay. Well, while you keep an eye on that, we're still on board with F1 Roadrunner currently, who's got Certec Kalatepe and the Toro Rosso behind for close company, and he is slowly, tenth by tenth, eating into that. Lead F1 Roadrunner has over him, but we will jump back to this shortly, as we will jump back to the other battle, which could be brewing up between Smet and Unerurkum. No, Unerurkum seems to have everything under control, so doing a fantastic job on the super softs. Say that again?
Oh, his tyres must have switched on then.
Yeah, I believe so. He's doing a fantastic job. Again, could be set up, downforce levels, looking after the softer compounder tyres. Be interesting. Down in 8th place we have Bereavement, who's one of our reserve drivers, doing a nice little job there in the Mercedes. All alone, but still going. We jump back to Jason in 9th in the Williams, again, still going, doing a job. It's all about getting to the finish line. So the guys that have crashed out, if this was a league race, it would be interesting. Flicking back, see if we have any...
Just think on Breaking Clays, he was quite late on opening his DRS down the hangar straight. I found that on the last game, if you knew where the DRS line is, you could just hit the button the moment you touch the line, and it would open. Whereas this game, there seems to be that delay, which I've been experiencing. Have you experienced that?
That's very, very true. I can actually elaborate on that a little bit for you, as we're back on board with Breaking Clays and Curly Willy. Curly Willy in the Haas doing a great job. Breaking Clays, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's keeping those softs in check. Or is this Curly Willy playing a game with him? But sorry, to elaborate on your point there. If you remember on F1 2016, if you held the button before you got to line, it would open automatically, whereas on this game, timing is crucial. It does not do it no more. You have to push it manually as you go over the line. If you do it before, DRS will not open.
How did I not know you could do that?
I thought you might have. There were plenty of YouTube videos out there of people telling us, but yeah, information.
I never knew that. Well, I was always doing it. Oh, this is going to get interesting because Curly Willy just touched the gravel even. Oh no, not into the old turn 1, not into cops.
Here we go, guys.
Behave, boys.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's contact. Ooh. Ah, you know what? I'm on board with Breaking Clays. Ooh, I don't like it. Dave, help me. I don't like it. Oh no way!
What did I miss?
Did he just? He just overtook him through Beckett's.
That was absolutely.
He's got DRS and stuff.
Superb. Sorry to cut you off there, Lord JB. We had a poor camera angle. We were actually stuck to the right side of Breaking Clays, and the move happened with Curly Willy on his left. So this is really, really interesting. Breaking Clays on the soft compound tyres, pitted 1 lap later than Curly, and I know he's been a bit wobbly, Lord, but he's looking the quicker driver.
He is, and I'm gonna say now, I think he might just take that win. We've got 2 laps left. One if you discount the one we're on right now, and Curly's dropped back to 6/10 away. Unless Curly's got some magic fuel left to this car, I'm not sure he's gonna catch him. I think that might have just been the move for the win.
It could well have been, and a crucial one at that. Question to you, Lord: if you could jump on board with Curly Willy's T-cam, see if he has any damage to his front wing.
I find that if you're going to do that, you need to look on the actual nose cam and have a look around, because you can see the wings if you look to your left and right. But okay. I don't believe he has that.
Okay, I was just curious because I mean, this is a great battle by these 2 drivers. Maybe it shows that the mediums work, they're durable, but the softer tyres are capable of doing the job. But this could make it interesting. There's traffic up ahead. Through maggots. Here we go.
You see, that's just where Breaking Clays is so much faster.
Yeah, that would...
It just seems just to fly through there, whereas Curly's rear end just does not stick. Jason being very sportsmanlike, staying very close to the left to make sure that he didn't get in the way.
No.
Personally, I would have gone to the right, but I think that was a nice move for him.
No, that's great stuff. I mean, the one thing we do know in real Formula 1 that the back markers do not have to jump out of the way as these guys come around to start their last lap. So if Curly Willy's got anything in the bag, he's got to let it go now. He's got, what, 3.4 kilometres to get it done, I believe is the track length. Could be wrong, don't hold me that, folks. So it'd be an interesting battle as we proceed. One thing I've got to say about Jason there, he is one of the most sporting drivers from a racing to see. If he knows he's being lapped, he will jump out of the way. He knows the rules, he plays by the rules, and he's a superb driver. May not have the sheer outright pace, but yeah, he knows what he's doing. So yeah, Lord, over to you. What do you think is going to happen between these 2?
He's close, so close to him. He's within touching distance. He wants that golden trophy, but I don't think he's going to have it.
No,
I don't think he's going back to Scotland tonight.
Ooh, I think the Breaking Clays is out to prove himself here, as we've just lost Emmerich Ortal as a retirement, possible terminal damage.
That must have been damage. I'd look, but I'm too busy.
Too busy, yep. No worries. As these 2 come through, Maggots and Beckett's now, it's Curly Willy's final chance for DRS. What's he got straight line speed? We've seen his car be a bit wobbly.
No.
Well, that just answers the question.
That's it. I think that's race over.
I believe
I
you
think
might be
Curly
there.
knows it too. He's weaving.
I think that was a
Good on
sign
board.
for good
Good
race.
on board
Well
with
done.
breaking place.
You've done it.
I think that's. It'd be interesting to see the gap at the end because if Curly, he was 8 tenths coming over the final timing line after hitting the grass.
Yep, so here comes breaking place to cross the line, take the win. Here comes Curly Willy to follow up second. Andy's writ his car off, probably out of anger and frustration, but here we go, back to third.
He's waving as well.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I'm on board with him right now. He's just waving as he's sat in the middle of a track.
But here we go, we've got F1 Roadrunner in the Ferrari ahead of the Toro Rosso, coming home in third if no penalties are incurred. Certec Calatepe bring it home in fourth, nice little run. Oh, and no, jump. Yep. Have I got a car in? Kareem, yep, sorry, is he still going? Yeah, still going. Green coming home in fifth place, nice little job there for him, nice little race. Erna Urkham, still on the Super Softs, locks up in sixth place, just into the final chicane. Nice little drive, interesting strategy call from there, but he made it work. Jumping back to Smet in the Ferrari. Drivers seem quite close for what they're doing, but Smet coming home in seventh, nice little job. As we jump back, as we can see Curly Willy's car in the middle of the track there.
Just jump on board with bereavement, because we had this during qualifying. We had where the graphics said that he was going full revs. I don't know if he's just can't. It says that his throttle pedal's moving. I think it must just be a visual or sound glitch with it.
Quite possibly. I'm on board with him in T-Cam, and I'm not seeing any of those problems. Is he out of fuel? No, he's not full throttle. So that
he just said it was. That's weird, isn't it?
Interesting. Well, that concludes our test session of the WC World Championship drivers and the World Championship reserves, also known as the WCR. Nice little test session there. Congratulations to the drivers and thank you for participating in this event. Again, we like to see the podium. We'll let Breaking Clays have his moment in a minute. Lord JB, highs, lows, goods, bads, and the ugly.
I think it's a bit of all. I really do feel for Erna Urchin for going onto those tyres too late. I just don't think he had the speed to catch up with them. I think he just needed a bigger gap if he was going to make that strategy work. I want to know how Breaking Clays turned those tyres back on.
Well, we will get to find out shortly. Wow, penalties
9
galore.
seconds.
Interesting. Well, I'll take us through the finishing order quickly. In first we have Breaking Clays, fantastic job there. In second, Curly Whirly. In third, Roadrunner. Those will be our podium sitters, Lord JB. In fourth, we've got Certec Karateke. Karim in fifth, Noricum in sixth, Schmet in seventh, Bereavement eighth, Jason ninth, Bleeding Sunrise, I Like 'em Out Farfber, Irma Auto, and Mr. Hammond, all the DNFs. So I
just said Breaking Clays.
Superb, nicely done. Interesting race. One thing I saw, no ghosting cars. Everything seemed a lot smoother than it was before. That doesn't mean we will get going, guys. The admin will need to know and check everything that's going on with the game before we make any decisions. And beside that, we have a test session tomorrow, where we will see the reserves of the WSR go on track with the World Series drivers, and we will be running Silverstone again. And again, the same settings will apply, and we will see how that goes. So, Lord JB, once they're all in, would you like to start the podium off today?
Well, I've just sent one to F1 Roadrunner. I've never experienced a podium with him on it, so I don't know if he'll join or not. But I just want to pop this question out already. Breaking Clays, thank you for the friend request, by the way. How did you switch those tyres back on?
Sorry, I couldn't make out the question there.
How did you switch the tyres back on from? They seemed like they were dying to us, but then you just managed to switch them back on. How did you do it?
I didn't really do that. I just went from super soft to soft.
It really did seem like your tyres were struggling versus Curly at one point. I don't know. Let's open it up. Curly, did you feel like Breaking Clays was faster than you with worn tyres?
I kind of went back and forth over the stint, I'd say. But Yeah, I mean, I would have wanted to go on the softs, but I demolished my tyres in qualifying, so had to go for the mediums. But yeah, I mean, during that sort of final stint, there was a few laps sort of in the middle where I felt a bit quicker, and then he felt a little bit quicker for a few laps, and the last couple laps, I felt a bit quicker. So yeah, I just sort of went back and forth, I think.
Anything else you would like to ask, Lord JB?
I think I'm just still bewildered about how their tyres both seem to be up and down at the same time.
Okay, if you
I'm
can...
bewildered over here.
Okay, no worries. If you can let us know when F1 Roadrunner joins us, if he does, or send him another invite, please. Breaking Clays. Thank you very much. Breaking Clays, how did your race go? I mean, it was unfortunate we lost Mr. Hamilton. I mean, I don't know about yourself, Breaking Clays. His pace just seemed absolutely immense. You know, any thoughts? Setup, wings, anything you can take away from that?
Well, don't know what to say there. I think I just won this race by luck. I don't think that many quick drivers were here in the testing, and according to my teammate F1 Roadrunner, I heard that Mr. Hamilton crashed out, and yeah, I think that's all I can say really.
Interesting.
Kind of a bit speechless.
No worries. Interesting you should say that. I can give you an update from our point of view only. I was actually on board with him, and he was going down the old pit straight and retired. We didn't actually see any crash or nothing, so I don't know if it was just a choice. He had done his bit and was happy with what he had done, etc. But interesting there that Roadrunner says he retired from a crash, but no. Curly Wully, I mean, we spoke last week, we've done a bit of comms. Question to you, how did you find today's session with the changes and settings we dealt with as admin from Front Row Racing? Was it an improvement? Was it worse? Was it... Give us your thoughts.
I didn't have any sort of issues in the way of bugs or glitches during the race. It seems to be, at the moment, most of the issues are with the safety cars and with the formation lap as well. So yeah, I mean, I didn't notice anything sort of out of the ordinary there.
Okay, that's good to hear on a bit of feedback. Same question to you, Breaking Clays. F1 Roadrunner, we will get to you shortly, mate. Bear with us. Breaking Clays, did you experience anything from your point of view, or was it all good, clean sailing?
It wasn't really awkward, to be honest. I tried to focus getting the car on track because it felt a bit harder to drive than last year's game, and it was kind of hard to get the strategy to work for me. I didn't really push that hard to the limit. It was so then I can look after to the tires. Okay,
so bit of a test session. You've taken what you needed to, and I'll tell you what, I must admit, you two, after Mr. Hamilton retired, superb. When you two went wheel to wheel, I don't know what your two thoughts are on that before we move on to F1 Roadrunner, starting with Curly Wurly. The battle you two had side by side for about 5, 6, 7 corners was superb. From your point of view?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, just good racing. I think the contact model in this game being a lot less, well, a lot better than it was in 2016 gives people more confidence to just go out and actually fight for position. But for me, you know, I was just trying to keep the thing on track. I went horribly wrong with my setup. Yeah, I don't know, felt like my suspension was like upside down or something. When I did a race around here about 3 weeks ago, I think I was about 7 or 8 tenths quicker, so yeah, I won't be using that setup again, but it was really good racing.
That's great to hear. Guys, before I carry on, one of you has got the live stream on, I believe, and I'm getting an echo. If you could just turn that down for us a bit, that would be very, very much appreciated. Other than that, Breaking Clays, from your point of view, that battle with Curly Wurly, as good as we saw it as?
Yeah, good wheel to wheel and good racing there. I I don't know what to say. I'm quite a bit speechless today because I've been really tired and a lot, and I've kind of came a long way, so I did.
I mean, from our point of
Fun.
view, it was very interesting to see you guys go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. I don't know if Breaking Clay's heard that question. Dave, that's your name. But Curly, how did you feel when he got past you round Maggots and Beckett's?
Yeah, I had like a big moment coming into the complex and went off the track. So yeah, I was totally up for battling through there, but I just kind of lost the car. But you know, I don't know if he would have gotten past anyway. I think it probably would have. We just gone side by side through cops. That was pretty good fun.
Yeah, I lost the back end at that time there. I knew you had the advantage.
I think both of you lost the back end, and it was great. I like this dancing. You were dancing with each other. It was superb. Minimal contact. That's what we like to see, and that's what's expected from our World Championship drivers. So congratulations to the pair of you. Well done, Breaking Clays, on your win. Whether it was luck or not, you still crossed the line first. And Curly Willy, well done on your runners-up spot. But we're going to move on to F1 Roadrunner now. Are you there, my good man?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you doing, fella?
I'm doing fine.
I think we might have lost Breaking Clays in F1 Roadrunner. I'm not sure what's happened there.
No, I'm talking to F1 Roadrunner as we speak. Yep.
I can't hear him. Oh, I do apologise.
Can you hear me now?
That's so weird.
I can hear you, F1 Roadrunner. Is your mic allowed to share?
Yeah, in the body settings, it's showing that allowed to share.
That's brilliant. I'll take this one, Lord JB, if you can't hear him. F1 Roadrunner, I mean, talk us through your race, and on top of talking through your race, if you could just give us a bit of insight from your point of view of bugs, glitches you may have incurred, or if none at all, in this race.
Well, in the race, I didn't face any glitches. It was just that the leaderboard thing in the quali, you didn't know which position you are in. I think they're gonna address that, but in the race, no, except for my. This is my first race in this game in Silverstone, and I barely did a couple of laps with my teammate Breaking Clays, like 10 minutes before we joined. So I'm happy to be here. Actually, this is my first podium in this league. it's sad to be in a test session.
Yep, it's don't worry, I did note that, so I was going to congratulate on that, and well done, fella. It's nice to actually talk to you, because we've only raced wheel to wheel, and I reserved for your team once last season, or twice, so it's good to hear your voice. So, if I was to say, is the game ready, given the settings we changed, your answer would be?
Yes.
I thought it might, you're just keen to get going, aren't you?
Well, let's get going. I think your safety car will be off.
Yes.
So the only buggy thing I see is the safety car and the leaderboard in the quality. So other than that, I don't see any bugs.
Yeah, unfortunately, qualifying, it does sort itself out at the end.
Yeah.
But the problem is, for you guys, you're unsure. For us as comms, it's an absolute joke, to be fair, but it's out of our hands. It's a guessing game. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. Codemasters in the forums haven't actually stated when they're going to release the next patch, to my knowledge, but we're hoping on one in the next week or two.
I think it will take more than that because it will have livery updates. So.
Yeah, we're just fingers crossed. Well, we've got everything crossed. F1 Roadrunner, you know, it's we want to get going. So, but thank you very much for your feedback. I mean, do you want to talk us through a bit of your race, because I noticed towards the end you had a bit of company in the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, with Zertag, I actually just followed the strategy that the engineer gave me, the one stop. I tried to extend the super soft, but they were going off very fast. Actually, Breaking Glaze has tested this super soft strategy, and he managed to take it to the end on single stop. And I did the super soft medium. So looking at that, there are often it will be open this season for different strategies, depending on how you manage your tires. And I had a rear end, but fight-wise, I had good fun with Serpec, except that single instance I had after the first DRS zone, we made a bit of contact, but it was fair enough for him to give the place back.
That's good to hear. I mean, we always encourage that at front row racing. I mean, you're one of sort of the veterans, I would call it. You've been around a couple of seasons now, so you know all about the rules, etc. So it's good to see. But I mean, congratulations, F1 Road Runner. I mean, it's nice to see you up here. It's nice to talk to you and hear your thoughts and give us some feedback. And absolutely congratulations, Lord JB. Can you hear him or?
You know, midway through that, I was able to hear him.
Okay, well, if you can hear him now, is there anything you would like to put to F1 Road Runner, question-wise?
I think you covered it both. I muted my mic and I was listening via the stream.
Okay, so you're the one with the stream on. Turn it down. Anyway, guys, anyway, thank you very much, F1 Road Runner. Just going to get Breaking Clay's and Curly Willy's thoughts. Again, I asked F1 Road Runner if I was to say, guys, we want to go live next week. What's your thoughts? Curly Willy first?
I don't think it should be ready yet, because as what F1 Roadrunner said a moment ago, about the qualifying results or the timing board, it should be fixed.
Okay, that's a fair point. Pass your thoughts on to Codemasters and be as harsh as you want. We're allowed. Curly Willy?
I mean, that is a problem, but I would say to start simply because I think it's a raceable problem. As long as the times are correct at the end of the session, which they are, then I think we should just go for it. I mean, it's not ideal not knowing exactly where you sit, but I don't think it's a big enough problem to sort of postpone things.
Okay, interesting feedback, bit of mixed thoughts there. It's good to hear though, the on-track action is seeming pretty clean, pretty fair, no real issues, so the admins will take all your thoughts into account and discuss the matter and release something shortly after we repeat the exact same test tomorrow with the World Series and World Series reserve drivers. Moving on from that, congratulations to you all. Lord JV, anything else you would like to ask the drivers that are here with us today?
I think we've covered it pretty well. For me, the race with the issues, I think the qualifying issue is the major issue. The leaderboards. I personally found it a pain because I crossed the line first in qualifying last week, and I went ninth. It just didn't make sense to me. But no, I think we've covered pretty much everything that was shown tonight. I think tomorrow will be a pretty different story.
Okay, that's interesting.
Can I send out a single message here before we close?
F1 Roadrunner, because you're on the podium, mate, you can send whatever you like, as long as it's clean.
To the old admins, I still remember that commentary in Germany when he said, "Look at that F1 Roadrunner." Meep. So I'm giving it back. Meep.
I like that. That's a nice touch, that. So yeah.
I hope they're listening.
Well, I'm sure they are, and if they're not, I will forward the clip onto them and refresh their memories for you, my good man. Excuse me. So yeah, we'd like to congratulate Breaking Clays on his victory here in the test session. Curly Willy second, well done fella, and F1 Roadrunner, congratulations on being on the podium with us this time around in this test session.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Other than that, this guys has been Front Row Racing. I'm FRRC2GY. You can find me on PlayStation under this account, or you can drop us a message at Front Row Racing. You can find us on Facebook. Feel free to look us up on YouTube. You can find our videos, test sessions, etc. there. If you're interested in joining, to come along, give it a go, drop us a message, and we'll sign you up for one of our reserve events and let you know when we get going. Other than that, this has been Front Row Racing. Tune in tomorrow. We will be hitting Silverstone again. Same conditions. Might see some rain. And following on from that, the admins will make a decision on what we will do to go forward. So come along, give it a go. If not, tune in. As you've seen tonight, the racing can be very, very special. Good night, God bless, and we will hopefully see you all again tomorrow.